Okay, so first off,
I would like to offer you some of Murray's muffin.
Oh God, I'm not touching anything that guy's touched. You kidding me? I value my life.
So, what are you most excited for people to see from this new season?
What am I? We get Sal really viciously this season, and that always excites me. We did a thing where I don't know if I want to ruin it because I hate when people do that. I'll just say this: we break into his house. We physically break into his house. I can't wait for that to make the light of day, so I'm really excited about that. You know, it's just plus I just like being like I can't wait to get back on the air. Like we start in like 2 weeks because we have really passionate fans.
Yeah.
So like they're just fun to interact with and stuff like that. It's cool.
You know, you tend to do a lot of like the big sort of like for lack of a better term, like loud stuff. Like we saw like the White Castle thing that you did and stuff like that. Do you find, or even better, I loved when you cut in line for the tickets,
Sure.
And you're just like, hey, I don't wait in line. Do you think that is that a better way to approach these kind of things? Just sort of act like you're untouchable instead of being people's friends.
It's definitely a strategy because I am not as quick as the other guys when it comes to stuff. Like they're able to talk their way around a little bit, whereas I just find loud and blunt. Plus, I'm done quicker. You see those idiots trying to get on that line? So I got choked by an old man. Like I don't have time for that in my life. You know what I mean? I don't need an old man's, an octogenarian's fingers around my throat. Like I'll just cut to the front of the line and I'm done in 2 seconds. Like literally my turn. I don't wait on lines. I'm done. Boom. Everybody loves it. I'm done. Those jerks are out there for 10 minutes doing stupid stuff. So it's a little bit of laziness and cheating on my part, but it's all I know.
So is there any prank that you guys did in high school that you repeated for the show?
The nosing. The nosing was done in high school. That's actually did you see the comic book yet?
Yeah, we briefly went through
there's a very accurate way that the origin of nosing is in here. That is almost 100% accurate. And Joe did that in high school, and we brought it up. So, yeah, it's good.
So one of the questions that we asked Murr, and we'll pose to you too, is we talked to him about when he got hooked up to lie detector.
Yeah.
It was really embarrassing. And I asked him about do you guys plot your revenge on whoever set that up? And you're like, I'm definitely going to get you back.
Well, it's hard because you can't. There's no one person doing any one thing. It's kind of like the show Lost, where Sawyer 1 week is stealing everybody's guns and all the medication, and then the next week he's hanging out with them. You know what I mean? It's like your alliances just have to shift within seconds. You know what I mean? It's you against the world, and the enemy of my enemy is my friend, and stuff like that. So you don't really. I just like getting Sal, so that's always my main thing. But
So when have you felt, often you go through and, I think about the episode where you guys were at a buffet and taking food off people's plates and cutting in line, which people get really upset about. Does it ever do you ever get to the point where you just feel bad for the people around because to make the prank work, it's got to make people feel uncomfortable?
Well, I think that we try really, really hard to not do things that will piss people off. We really want it to be on us, not the other people. And even if you see that family that Joe was scatting and clicking the thing, the husband was laughing, you know what I mean? If he was angry, Joe would have stopped immediately. We really, that's our main rule is we it has to be on us, it can't be on the other people. So, we're good at pulling out.
What is, oh sorry, go ahead.
Okay, so what prank have you guys done that you've been absolutely shocked has actually worked out?
Oh my God, the whole show! The beginning to end. The punishments are, I don't get shocked at because they're set up and we're just slamming home. You know what I mean? There's nothing you can do about it. But all the individual bits that lead up to the punishment, I'm always shocked. As good as you think people are going to be, the public, they're great. They surprise you. They're so funny, and people just are so clever and witty, and it's just I always get surprised at that, you know what I mean? And it sucks because the nature of our show is people have to sign to be on, or else they're blurred. And we don't like putting blurs on because of comedies and reactions and stuff like that. So it's horrible when something goes so well, and then a person's like, "Oh, I don't want to be on TV" and stuff like that. You know? I don't know how I digress to that, but I'm just always shocked at like the people's reactions and shit like that. So it's good.
So what prank are you most proud of that you guys have achieved?
Ooh, that's a good question. It would be a punishment, and again, it's this season. Well, I like putting Sal in the cat cage. Like, I like that because I got to play with cats all day. You know, for me that was great. I almost adopted 3 of them. But something this season, the thing breaking into Sal's house. I hate to keep going to this, but it's amazing. Like we had so much fun doing it. So stuff like that. There is, you know, it's. Yeah, I guess. I mean, I'm not answering your question right because there's stuff this season. Because now we're in the middle of it, and I don't want to give it away. But breaking into Sal's house again, like for me, is like the big one. Wait till you say, you'll understand why I'm so excited about it. We went all out for it. It's great. It's great.
So, the bouncer episode, you guys did you were acting as a bouncer, right?
Sure, yeah. Long Island, we shot that one.
Yeah. I believe you were the one who did the Yoda impression, right?
Yeah.
Do you do like any other impressions?
Well, I did Christopher. I'm not good. I mean, good impressions? No. I don't do a single good impression. I barely do a good me. That's horrible. But I did Christopher Walken in the movie theater where we were behind the thing. I'm an idiot. The counter. We were selling popcorn and stuff like that. And they're like, be Christopher Walken. And I did Christopher Walken on the show. That was horrible, but fun. You know
Will you do a little bad Christopher Walken for us right now?
Yeah, sure. What is this? A comic book? Wait, it's so thin and light. That's it. That's just horrible. It's miserable.
Now do it as Yoda.
Comic book you are. Read it, I must. Yoda I am. How's that good?
Thank you.
I like that one a lot. I like that one a lot.
Yeah.
So, I asked a similar question before. What I want to know was, do you guys ever get in a situation where you're afraid that maybe somebody's going to, like, either get violent or just get, like, kind of out of control because they don't know what you're doing?
Not really. I mean, again, it goes back to what we're doing to them, and we're good at reading people, so we will stop. If a person shows the first sign of being like annoyed, we'll be like, all right, you know what I mean? Unless it's funny, and then we'll keep going. But really, it's more of a matter of like just do things that aren't gonna piss people off. Dude, like I don't have no interest in making people angry. Like I have an interest in making my friends really uncomfortable because the more uncomfortable they are, the funnier the show is. So you know.
You guys ever going to be able to like do something like on the Comic-Con floor or something like that?
It's hard, man. We tried. We wanted to. I'm a huge comic book geek. Like that's my thing. We were able to do something in Jim Hanley's Universe in Manhattan, which is one of the big comic book stores in there. But Comic-Con, man. I mean, you've seen. This is my 8th time here. I started in the '90s when it was smaller, and it's you know what I mean. And it's like you were able to walk without getting hassled and bothered and stuff. Now, I don't even think... First of all, we tried, and the rules are insane. And because they have to protect the experience for goers. You can't have camera crews on the floor. You know what I mean? You can't have too many crew out there. There's just too many people at this point. I would love to. I would love to maybe set up a booth and sell a fake comic and try and sell you a comic. I think that would be really good. But... I think Comic-Con wouldn't be the right place for it. It's just too crazy.
Even down there in the cafe, the Impractical Jokers cafe?
Well, it's hard to do a hidden camera show when your face is all over the place. It's crazy.
You'd be surprised how oblivious people are.
Yeah, I guess. And could they have picked a worse picture of me? I mean, that's hard. It doesn't even look like me. It looks like my corpse. My reanimated corpse. They couldn't Photoshop that?
Maybe that's your TV's joke.
I guess so. It's not very funny, though.
At least you got an arrow through your head. That's kind of cool.
What's that?
You got an arrow through your head. That's kind of cool.
That's a Steve Martin thing, I guess, yeah, but I looked horrible.
So,
now I'm depressed.
As a guy who's been to Comic-Con, a bunch, is this now like is this like the greatest thing ever to be immortalized in a comic book?
It completely is. The last Comic-Con I went to was 2 years ago, and I was like, I am never going back again. I was like, it's too long of a trip. Now it's too crowded. It's like hard to even focus on comics anymore. You know what I mean? I was like, I don't need to go. And then for this, when this came out, you need to sign something? No. And then when this came out, I was like, sorry, guys. When the comic was being, when they told us they were going to do the comic, I was like, hey, thanks, Mitch. There you go, buddy. I got so excited again. It's a whole different experience. Because every year I come as a fan. Love it, you know what I mean? I love the costumes, I love the comics. I like the writers, like the comic writers. I met Garth Ennis here about 10 years ago, and it was like meeting a rock star. I was like, holy shit, it's Garth Ennis, you know what I mean? So I get really excited. But now it was like, oh my God, I'm in a comic. This is great. I get to go. And it's a promotional giveaway comic. It's not like an ongoing series starring me or anything. I know what it is, but I was like, it's changed the whole experience. And I'm just so excited to be here. And DC has this at their booth, and they're giving it out. So I was just standing there, like just standing next to it. Like, anybody? It's me. That's me. But again, they picked the worst photo of me. Like, either that or I just don't take good photos. You know what I mean?
Did they just use the picture of you here and draw that?
They did. You just nailed it. Look at that.
You're wearing the same outfit.
I mean, come on, man. I mean, you guys can't give me anything. I'll tell you what, though. Look at the one of me inside. Why couldn't they go with this one? Look at that. I look kind of...
That's nice.
Yeah, I look all right there. I mean, I'm not saying I look dreamy or anything, but, at least I only have one chin. I sort of squared you out a little bit.
I think the beard is a good look for you, though.
Yeah.
The facial hair, I think,
Thank you.
They have to do new pictures now, or you can just start going around drawing.
Right, you want to do that? Where's that pen? We'll just throw a beard on me. Let's do it. Get that Sharpie. We'll draw the beard on me. Let's save this. Let's save this one photo.
You're correcting your beard mistake.
That's it, buddy.
Murray needs like a girl pigtail or something. Put something on Murray. Nothing. Not doing anything.
Nothing.
You just give me moves. It wasn't him. It wasn't him. Out here.
What?
I was in New York.
There you go, buddy. So there we go.
That was amazing.
There we go. Now that's more accurate. Hides the double chin.
That's way better.
Yeah, I know. That's a lot better. I don't even know what I did to Murray. That's so stupid.
It's earrings.
Whatever. Yeah, I wrote jerk. That's good enough for me.
So I noticed you have a really cool Superman watch.
Dude, you know what this is?
No, what is that?
This watch was released in '92. This was a '93, I think. The Death of Superman watch.
Wow.
Okay.
Whoa, it's in great condition too. Look at that.
Wow.
I'm about to blow your mind. I had 3 Superman watches when I was back in the '90s. One was the Reign of the Superman, which had the 4 symbols there, and then I had the old school brown band one with Superman flying through the air, but it was from the cover of the first comic. We had the truck, and then the third one I had was Superman with long hair.
Oh yes.
And I couldn't afford this one. And back in the '90s, I was a kid. I was like 15 years old when it happened. And then when we got on the show, and I was like, you know what? I'm buying my child. I went on eBay, and I bought this on eBay. At like 20 years after I couldn't afford it, I bought it. Now it's my favorite watch. You know what I mean?
That's so great.
Friggin' eBay, man. Let me tell you something. You can buy your childhood back in a second. So yeah, this is my favorite watch.
So you're saying that you guys have some pretty rabid fans. Like,
Yeah, we do.
what was it like when you guys first started getting recognized?
Well, it was crazy. There was a lot going on at the time because the show just came on the air, and I still live on Staten Island, and True TV's marketing push for the first show involved a lot of sides of buses and stuff like that. So I would just be driving, and I would pull up on a bus next to me, and it's just, nothing can prepare you for that. You know what I mean? It's insane. And Manhattan was covered. I know all the things. So like my head's already spinning, and I was like, this is insane. You know, I look fat. You know, that always that thing, and then just people just start coming up to you, and they're like, hey, you're right there. You know what I mean? Nobody's seen the show yet. And I was like, yeah, and I'm standing there like that. It was surreal. It was a good word. You know, people are nice. Nobody's ever come up to me and been like, you suck, the show sucks, or anything like that. And so it's been great. I mean, people have been really, really good to us. Like, we only hear nice stories. Like, we hear everything from, you saved my marriage. I went through surgery, and watching the show got me through it. Like, really nice stuff. It's great. It's great. Really unique, you know.
So does that ever mess though with like your pranks? Like, do people recognize you guys and realize what's going on?
Yeah, it does happen, but not. That's why we shoot in Manhattan. There's so many. I'm shaking your camera. Sorry.
That's all right.
There's so many people. It's for every one person that knows us, there's 20 that have no idea who we are. And we've gotten really good because our fans will try and get on the show by pretending they don't know. And they're like, oh, but you could tell right away. They're like, oh, yeah, really? You know, and they're trying not to smile, and you're like, all right, buddy, hit the bricks. You know, we know what's going on. Because it's important to us that the show be real, so we don't because my friends are all like, get me on the show. Yeah, I'll pretend I don't know. And I'm like, you don't get it. Like, that's not, then it's not funny, you know what I mean? Nobody's uncomfortable with it.
Yeah.
No, go ahead. Now, you did that great episode where you were at White Castle. Have there been other places that you've like tried to get into that you've been able to, like the Verizon store or something like that?
Yeah, it's a lot of places. We have a locations team that just calls places. A lot of places they're worried about the customers, you know what I mean? And Costco won't have us back. Because of the whole mustache, the hey mustache guy, they won't have us back. But White Castle, I mean, they couldn't be any cooler. Like, they are so easy to work with, and they're so supportive and stuff. They would have us back anytime. But yeah, you know, people are concerned about their brands, so that's was the problem. I don't remember specifically places. I know we've called everybody, so if they haven't been on a show, they said no.
Is there like any place that you really, really would love to try and get to?
Yeah, Hawaii. Anywhere in Hawaii. A garbage dump in Hawaii. You gotta get me there. I've never been. I really want to go. That's what I'd really like to do. Aside from Hawaii, I wouldn't mind going back to. We did Great Adventure, and that was a lot of fun. I wouldn't mind doing Disney. It would be so much fun. Like something big like that would be great. Mess with families on vacation.
Have you ever just felt like just mortified and embarrassed from something that you guys did in public?
Oh my God, every day. Every day. The show doesn't work if we're not mortified and embarrassed.
What would you say was the worst one, where you just felt it was like the absolute most
Did you see me teaching my parents sex ed? Oh, you didn't see that one?
No, we didn't see that one.
Oh, let me tell you about this. I lost, and it was my punishment. And they tell me, for your punishment, you have to teach a bunch of teenagers sex ed. So I open the door and I look in, and they had a whole bunch of teenagers, but they don't look like movie teenagers where they're like hot models. They look like babies. And you don't want me teaching anybody sex ed, believe me. They'll be doing all the wrong things. And then what? And then when I walked out of the room, what?
I'm in. Mitchell's yelling at me.
All right, I'm answering the question here.
All right, well, all right, take your time.
Wants to hog everything, this guy. When I opened the door, it was my parents, and I had to teach my parents sex ed, and it was awful, beyond awful.
We're gonna have to go back and watch that one.
It's horrible. It's horrible. I'm like reliving it right now. It's awful.
Well, we're sorry for that.
Thanks, guys. This interview's over.
Well, thank you so much.
No, you guys are really cool. Really nice to talk to you guys. I'll hand you off to Joe. He's good.